welcome back. So far we have, in the previous videos, we have been playing with code and variables and functions and just making things happen down here in the output window. So in this video we're going to make something happen in our game window. Alright, so let's start by adding a part into our workspace. Alright, and we'll just we'll make it a bit squarer, so let's make it say 4 by 4 by 4, so it's a cube. Alright, so we've got a part sitting in our workspace and we're going to use a script to change it. Alright, so with our part selected, let's click on the plus sign and add a script. And firstly, let's change the name of this to be, we could just call it part script. Alright, and we might change this to my part, because we may add other parts. Alright, so my part script. So this part is the parent to this script, and this script, alright, is the child of this part. Now I bring this up because in object-oriented programming we're going to be referring to this a lot, and our first line is going to make use of the term parent. So we can think of the script here as the brains of this part. Okay, so my part and its brain is this script that's going to tell it what to do. So we need a way to refer to the part in the script. So let's make a variable, and we're going to call this local, and we'll say my part equals script. So the word script is actually referring to the script we're writing in, dot, and the thing that we want to make use of is the parent. So the script, which this thing is written in, dot parent, which is my part, that's what this variable is. Alright, so we make use of this dot syntax and file paths, if you like, to get access to various objects within Roblox Studio. Alright, it'll start to make more sense as we go, but add these in, and if it does, that's really good. So let's see what we can do with that now. If we type my part dot, we come up with a whole bunch of things that we can access. Now you probably already remembered anchored is a property. Okay, so if we click on my part down here, we can see anchored is a property of my part, and so is all these other things here as well. We can also come all the way down here and we get other things that we can do, which are we'll be getting to a bit later. Alright, but right now we're just going to deal with changing some of the properties. Alright, so in here, let's change, for a start, we're going to change the brick color. Alright, so if we type in here brick color equals, we want to change this to a new brick color. So let's type in here brick color dot new, because we want to take the existing brick color and change it to something else. Now we can type in type in a name if we want. So we could say baby blue. Okay, and there we go. That's our first script that's going to change something. Let's try and see if that works. Test. Drop into our game and find our block. There it is, and it's changed to baby blue. Okay, now we can make use of lots of things in here. So if we take this off, we can also just type random, so we don't have to do anything else, but it will just pick a random color for us and change the color of the block to it. So where this is at the moment, because that came up behind us, let's put in a spawn point here so we can see what's happening. come to model, and over here under gameplay we're going to just put our spawn point in here. Might just move it back a little bit. Okay, it's a giant spawn point. Right. There we go. Okay, so let's save that, and this should come up as a random color. There we go. Alright, so it's come up as a yellow this time. So that's one way, using this script here to change this part here. Now, let's say we had a script in our server script service where we were before. Alright, so let's add a script to server script service, and let's call this change part script. Now this script can also access this. How do we do it? Well, we need to make a variable to get that part. So local, and we'll say my part, we can use that again, equals. And this is where we use our dot syntax and the parents and child. So the very top of when we're looking for something will be game. Okay, so the game holds everything that we would be looking for. We hit dot. Now we know that our part is in workspace, so we can type workspace dot, and we know it's called my part. There we go. Can you see my part has come up? So we were referring to this part for game workspace my part, whereas in our part script, because it's attached to the part, script.parent. Alright, and now we probably want to change something different or you won't see anything happen. So let's change my part dot, let's change the transparency. So we're going to make it slightly harder to see. Alright, so we can scroll down here, but the easiest way to do it is to type transparency and just hit enter, and we're going to change it to be, say, 0.5. Alright, so remembering that 0 is fully visible, 0.5 should make it slightly invisible. So let's see if that changes our block. And there we go. Now you'll notice this is flickering a bit because I actually sunk this down and it's not sitting quite right, so sorry about that. However, you'll see the block is transparent. It's also not anchored, so I can push it around, but it's given it a random color. So let's stop it and just run it again, and we should get a different random color. There we go, baby blue. Right, and it's transparent. So there we go, we have two scripts that are changing the properties of the one part. So it's quite powerful, and we will be doing lots more of this type of work, but hopefully you got the understanding of how to reference the part. So if we need to reference it in the workspace, game.workspace.myPart, and most commonly when you put a part in a script, it's script.parent. Alright, so in the next video we're going to be looking at something called methods, and these are built-in functions that let us do lots and lots of very cool things in Studio. So I'll see you then.